Greetings, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes. It is Iron. That is Joseph, and that is the one and only Doomsday Dave over there in the corner. And this is Wild and Weird Radio Live, your one-stop shop in the strange world of trying to make sense of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's I could do without hearing one-stop shop in my life anymore.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what for anybody who's not involved in my personal life, I have to have meetings multiple times a week about the one-stop shop.
We're not. And unless it has to do with NHIs, or UFOs, we don't care. Or Bigfoot.
Oh man! Bigfoot. So how's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm hoping everybody else is doing good out there. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. It's been a very interesting week.
Dave, how you doing?
Not too bad. It's been a better day today than it has the previous part of the week.
That's
well,
good.
See, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We actually managed to have a week where there wasn't that much rain, and it's been sunny, and not bad. I'm not going to complain.
Hasn't been too bad. That's right.
No.
We even have about 4 or 5 days of clear weather next week.
Do we? Wow.
Actually, consecutive days too.
That's good. We need those.
We'll be able to shoot some.
Maybe, possibly. He means video, guys, just so you understand what he's saying when he says shoot. For all you people.
Man. We got Brenda Ratliff out here. We've got Enzo Dances. Who else? Larry Hose, Anita Allen, Gary Schiller.
Come on in.
What's going on? Jordan Booker, what's going on? Good seeing you out there. Who else? Anita's in the house. Uveru's here. What's going on? Iski, L.R. Miller, Rachy. Who else? Seth Beans Lamille. What's going on? Long time no see, my friend.
Beans is here.
Long time no see. Ada Cox. All right. So remember, April the 18th, we are having our meeting.
Yes.
A little bit of a rundown there.
Yes, we've got the meeting scheduled. It'll be on the 18th. We've got some really cool stuff planned. I believe that we actually threw the video up there for everybody to let them see exactly what's going on. For those who haven't been to one, it's just an in-person gathering, and we share data. We have individuals who show up and do demonstrations. It's really cool. It's just an awesome, fun time. And then, of course, there's lots and lots and lots of food, and and it's all pretty much brought to you by you. Everybody who donates to the show, that's where some of that goes. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope that we get to see a lot of you people there, because it's going to be a blast. I promise you that. Last time Dave was there and he was set up, and I think he converted a few people over into the whole astronomy hobby. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then of course we had people sharing data, which is what we do.
Yep.
They're
always a great time for everybody who shows up. You can't beat it.
Well, it's free, so there's that. We're working in the background trying to figure out, to get someone there. We're going to see if that shows up or not. We don't know, but we'll try, and we'll see who we can get to show up as far as guests or whatnot go. But either way, it's going to be a good time. And if you want to present your data there, because this is kind of an open forum to do so, and you will have the opportunity not only to present it, but to have feedback, questions, and so forth from others who are also researchers. Yeah, it's weird because it's actually a group of researchers from different groups who gather together and actually talk about stuff and throw theories around. It's very good. But you also learn stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Oh, and there's food. Did I mention the food part?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right. There is food.
Lots of
L.R.
food.
Miller, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you,
NW Hall, thank you. You guys, this is what funds these meetings, by the way, is folks who help donate, and it also helps keep us on the road and keep the lights on in the studios. And it's you guys are where it's at. You guys are what keep us going, and we appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I know that we personally have a really cool little presentation that we're going to be showing, and you're gonna be getting some behind the scenes looks at some stuff. Let's just put it that way.
Trackway says, I bought a green laser pointer just for this meeting.
Sweet.
Yes.
There you go. Always thinking ahead.
For astronomy too. Just saying.
Always thinking ahead.
Nice. Anita, thank you.
Oh, look at that.
You're Ada.
Ada. I don't know. It's Ada.
Yep. The block
Anita?
showed up orange, and Anita's name shows up orange, and Ada's name shows up purple. So the collars got crossed up.
Oh, that's
Thank
a sure
Ada.
sign that you could be going insane.
Oh, going?
Yeah, probably. I want to give a shout out. I get an echo coming through somewhere too. I don't know where it's at. I want to give a shout out to Ada. She actually sent over one of the clips that we'll get to use tonight. I wanted to use this clip so bad because it was in the news and I could not find it anywhere. I looked all morning. I'm like, okay, well, plan B it is. And then this evening, she literally sends over the clip I needed without knowing anything about this. So,
nice.
Multiple thank yous for that. That was a big help, a huge help. Gary, thank you. 2 weeks to the gathering. That's right.
Yep.
Sounds like a cult when you say gathering, but it's a meeting, and we're going to tell you why it's not a cult probably tonight. You know what? Yeah, right. So, Joe, let's go over to presentation mode real quick because
you got it.
There's some interesting news that took place. And we're going to just go right ahead and jump into that really quick before we go into anything else. But for those who missed it, like myself, for example.
10, 9, 8, 7, RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
That just gives me cold chill. Sorry.
See, I sat there and like the kids, because we watched it. We all got together and we watched it. The kids were watching it on the TV, and we were at my grandmother's house, and we just had dinner. And we're all sitting there watching it, and they're all waiting, and people are they're cheering. And I'm just sitting there like this,
cringing because you remember.
I remember.
Yeah, I know. We all remember.
And I was waiting for the drop off. I knew once those
they were good to go.
Side engines go off and fall, the risk becomes exponentially lower.
Yeah.
And there's watching it go up higher and higher and higher, and then watching the second in thrusters kick off, saying, "Okay, we're home free." It was nice to see that.
I know. I got the message while it was happening, and like I said, I missed it. But I got to go back and catch it, of course. But I did miss it. And then I got the excitement from the messages you guys were sending at the same time. I'm like, well, we did it. And
I was
for the first time,
fingers crossed the whole time.
54 years. 54 years since we've been back there. That's crazy if you think about it. Anyway, let's pop up some of this stuff here for these folks. Let's get there.
I got a funny one for you, Ron.
Let's get their words.
Because the Books A Million, they had like the little Artemis, they had like a little Lego model, and I was going to buy it like $30. When I was up there at Books A Million there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I saw that and I was just like, I don't want it because it exploded, right? And I forgot about this launch coming up. And after watching the launch, I was like, okay, now I feel confident to go buy it now because I know it'll actually make it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's the little one. They made a little one and they made the big one. If I had room for the big one, I would have got it. It was like $259, I think, something like that. But it had a working gantry and everything.
That's cool.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. But I don't have room for that. But anyway,
so it was really exciting watching that and seeing, the way this operation is going to work, using the Earth's gravity to slingshot out, get out in front of the moon and then circle back around it as it's moving through orbit. It's really cool. And the fact that we're actually here to watch it happen, and so far it's been successful, aside from a toilet problem.
Yeah, that's right.
They've had an issue with the toilet, which is the worst thing in the world.
Well, one of the positive things about it was over 64 million people apparently tuned in live to see this. And for just a few minutes, 64 million people were focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
Instead of something negative. That's some positive hope, isn't it? I mean, that really is, if you think about that for just a second. So somewhere in the darkness, 64 million little candles lit up for just a minute. And everything was lit up really nice and bright for a while. But take a presentation mode because the candle got snuffed out really quick. Oh no, remove that because that's not what we want to see. So then this is a retrospect. Okay, just to let everybody know, because we told you a while back, things are about to get weird here on planet Earth. If you've been watching the show, you know this. We told you, I think it was actually before December. We said it was about to get really strange in 26, and yeah, it's getting really strange. We're here. So for those who didn't, here's your briefing document, and it'll bring you right up to speed with where we are right now and what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to advise you of this. Tonight's show will be controversial. There's no question about this. Okay. Please listen to everything that's said. If you can stick around to the end, watch it. You may see us change views. You don't know. We want to hear from you too. Don't care. Just be honest. That's it. But think. You want to think, and you want to pay attention to what we've done here. This has been quite a week, and it's taken a lot of research to put this show together. So I hope you enjoy it. And with that said, like I said, here's your briefing document. What is the trajectory? Where are we going? What's about to happen?
Catastrophic disclosure combined with cults.
Ooh.
I don't think that there's going to be ever the full admission from the federal government telling you what to believe.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
What he told me is he became a Christian. He started believing in Jesus because these things that were talking to him said, yes, Jesus is real.
And I've been told not to kick the sleeping dog. They're afraid of something about telling the public, your government and mine.
The idea of him crying every night, I was shocked. And I said, well, what would cause you to do that? And he said, Brent, this is not the world I thought I was bringing my daughters into.
It's very advanced, and that's all I can say. Very, very advanced, and with worldwide repercussions.
You could also disclose, yes, we've been in communication with non-human intelligence. Yes, there are multiple species out there. That fact in and of itself is not going to create doomsday weapons, and it's not going to destabilize the economy.
So when we've got people on the inside watching to see, based on a request, if these files have been moved, if they are deleted or changed in any way to avoid that.
58-year-old retired Air Force officer has been missing since February 27th in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
About a half a dozen folks that have disappeared or died under less than normal circumstances, and I think something's going on.
Imagine how Russia, Britain, China, the rest of the world will feel if they learn that the Americans concluded a deal with a non-human intelligence 60, 70 years ago.
And potentially with the wrong ones.
And potentially with the wrong ones.
And I think there's ample proof on the planet for the fact that modern society has existed before and got knocked back to sticks and stones and had to start over again.
So there's a briefer for you, for those who didn't know. And there is the trajectory for tonight's show. Questions, comments?
This is going to be somewhat of a sombering show.
Lou would be very proud.
Yeah. The research behind this is I wish I could sit and that we could claim that these were all original thoughts. But in reality, we're just really good at connecting the dots and the data points.
Oh, absolutely. And, one of the things we needed to do was to really delve into this, especially when we started hearing these arguments, the demon arguments, right?
Well, to be fair, we've poked fun and had our fun with the demons argument literally since 2020.
We have, but we've also looked into that argument in both sides, and I think it's important. And I've commented on multiple threads at that point and how uncomfortable this is going to get for people who want to stick by that because it means other things. But before we get ahead of ourselves on this, we need to kind of look back at a nexus point as to where some of this kind of originated, because a lot of it really did have to do with ancient astronaut theory. It had to start somewhere, and as far back as I can go was Charles Fort, and that's pretty much the nexus. Okay, so that was 1919 that Fort wrote the Book of the Damned, and that's widely accepted as the forerunner to all modern ancient astronaut theory, ufology. It documented thousands of anomalous reports. Like, he did his work. He was the first ufologist, essentially, all these strange sky phenomena, and he started putting all this stuff together. But his number one contribution to this and to what would become ancient astronaut theory was the fact that he suggested that Earth was not only visited by, but possibly controlled by an extraterrestrial or a non-corporeal force, and that humanity was essentially a property. So he put all this together pretty much, and he said that, basically all this stuff was data. It was data focused. Sound familiar? And the book does not. The title's misleading. A lot of people think, oh, look at that evil. It's right there in the start. No, the Book of the Damned was literally talking about how that this was a refusal to look for science to look at data. So, the data was literally just, don't look at that. This is no serious scientist will actually look at this. So that was the history, basically, the forgotten history, the history that they don't want you to see, the Book of the Damned. And that's kind of what led these guys into creating, what would eventually become ancient astronaut theory. And then we had some other weird stuff happen after that.
You're right. So this idea that extra-dimensional and otherworldly beings existing alongside humanity,
it's not new,
has
right?
existed
it's not new.
For eons. This is not anything new, and it was something that was accepted and often spoke about in a positive manner. Going the records that I could find go all the way back to like 1700 BC.
Yeah,
that is a very long time, folks. It's almost it's close to 4,000 years ago. And we're seeing this accepted worldview of these other like entities, And often they were normally referred to in rather loose terms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had these, you know, gods, and you had these other named entities, but a lot of it was just either negative intelligences or positive intelligences,
Mm-hmm.
or completely neutral intelligences that didn't care either way.
Right.
You know, nothing was necessarily consequential for them.
Sure.
So if you really want to get down into the brass tacks of it, the worldview of the other being in existence with humanity and in relation to creators has always been around.
Well, here's a great example. Thank you, Peggy TJ1WS. You pretty much just verified that. And yeah, that's right. If you go back and now we can't watch it, but if you listen to UFOs, the history of UFOs, I think is what it was,
Part
parts
1
through 3. Yeah, part 1, which we did on our podcast. We actually covered that. It's very hard that we covered art without having an actual visual aid, but we managed to do it somehow.
Right?
It was fascinating, fascinating times. Folks, I just want to let you all know we do want your opinions on this. So we're going to be starring them as we're talking through this, and we will get them up. If you have questions, put them in there and we'll see them, and we'll star this up, and we'll get to every single one. But this is an important thing, and we do want to hear from people's your views on this, because this matters. And what we're going to show the rest later on, it's all going to matter. This really matters.
It really does. And when we're looking at this phenomena, they weren't calling them demons. Demons, the term demon is actually a relatively new term. Anita says the need for independent research into this stuff is critical at this point. And that's where we come in.
Yeah, but the problem
and
is
you guys.
Well, that's what I'll say. Yeah, it's not just us. It's, you know, we've got to get this bigger so people can actually do the work, so to speak, right? Because we're going to be needing to hold a lot of hands, guys. I'm just telling you.
Well, Joe, you know, like we sometimes, like, I mean, I think it's usually in Ron and I, we sometimes joke about Battlestar Galactica, for example, you know, and the kind of the premise behind that story, right? And then, you know, then you kind of factor in that there's still being structures being found all over the earth to keep aging the earth, like Earth's civilization further and further back, like Egypt, there's another one. There's a new one they found. I guess you guys knew about. It's pretty much replaced Göbel-Tiki and maybe a little bit older. It's related to that complex. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I bet Ron knows it.
Well, there was one that was discovered, and it's in the northern hemisphere.
Yep.
And it was a wooden structure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was discovered because melting ice caps.
Yep.
And it is now the oldest known structure, and it pushes human city building back by millions of years.
Yeah.
And then there's Antarctica too, which we don't know much about yet. I mean, there could be structures buried.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. We may never know that.
Peggy asked another question. Where do UFOs come from? Well, I mean, that's a very good question, quite honestly. And I think that that's one of our issues. Or when do they come from?
That's the secret.
Or how do they come from?
Or how do they come from? See, this is the problem, because we're dealing with something that, honest to goodness, we talked about this in the Bigfoot thing, changing lexicon. We got to do the same thing here. We've got to start changing words. We got to start changing labels. We got to start looking at this in some kind of new light, whether it helps us to, you know, go back to, you know, square one and start all over. I don't know, but we've got to be able to have these conversations, because this thing encompasses everything. And let's see where, you know, that whole thing that Vance was saying, right? The whole demon thing.
Yes.
Well, the reason he was, I mean, I know, you know, first of all, let me just explain this to you really quick. We don't do politics on this show. What we do on this show is we show relevant topics, and unfortunately this was relevant. It should not have came from where it came from. I don't think, anyway. I really think that as we're moving into an area where disclosure is about to happen. And then you start seeing this muddy in the waters. You have to look at that and wonder if it's coming from a disinformation source or if it's coming from general fear of something that is unknown. I don't know. And I don't profess to know. But I will say that he did use the qualifier, I think, and in my opinion, multiple times. He just didn't quite think before he said a few things, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, that tends to be the case with anybody in front of a camera.
It's true. And I don't know how many people have been actually interviewed, but sometimes when you don't see the questions, it can be kind of, it can throw you off your game a little bit. And I think that may be a little bit of what happened there, but we don't know. We don't know about that, but we do know that there were other allegations that came out after this that are even more out there. And I think it's clear to say that someone is trying to control a narrative here.
There is very much a push to control this narrative, and
it's old, right?
It goes back to into the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for the 50s. Anybody who has studied, cultural phenomena.
We got a blessing over here.
Oh, hey,
Carly Young.
Carly Young. Thanks, Carly Young. It's all interdimensional.
Mm-hmm.
It's all interdimensionals, and we're just really happy there's more Wineberry like you promised on Facebook.
I wasn't lying to you. That's the whole thing. Like, we have so many projects. You just gotta wait. I mean, it'll come out. Trust me. You haven't seen anything yet with Wineberry.
And oh yeah, I know. We're also, it's not necessarily all interdimensional. We can't. The data points don't suggest it's all.
Not
There's
all.
a lot of it.
Right.
There's a lot that imitate frequencies that and have certain things, but yeah. So here's where, because I started doing some digging because this was really frustrating me, because I spent decades studying ancient religious history.
Well, Joe, why don't you give a little background of you for the new people who don't know you, considering we now have almost 3,300 people.
We have a bunch of people.
Which is phenomenal. You guys just keep coming, and we're multiple blessings. I mean, Thank you so much. I hope we don't run you away tonight. So, hang in there. It's going to be
myself.
Yeah, totally. It's going to get there.
You guys a little bit of just a Campbell's condensed briefing, because I don't want to go into
very quick. You don't need a couple paragraphs.
I became involved in ministry at a fairly young adult age, and worked in ministry up until 2018. And my focus, my what I wanted to understand was the way scripture was written and why it was written in the ways it was written. Because we did a whole lot of misconstruing passages and verses and creating entire doctrines based off of those. So I did a lot of anthropological study and word study into scriptural context, the sociological context of the day, and why some of these things were said the way they were when they were said, and the significance behind that. And then I also got in very deep into studying ancient mysticism, because it's all tied together. The ancient ways and the forgotten paths are what all of our faith came from, And so I wanted to understand that the best way to understand it was actually practice it. So fast forward to now. I left the church, what I call the American church, in 2018. And my faith hasn't changed. My relationship with God and Christ hasn't changed. just my faith in established religion in the United States has been changed. And it was so that's a whole other long story, and I don't really want to bore you guys.
Yeah, let's not get bored. I mean,
so anyway, we're gonna now to get back into this. There was a period of time in the mid 1900s, which is weird saying mid 1900s. But it started around
I remember them days.
It started in the 1950s, bled into the 60s and 70s. And there were two key movements that were occurring. One of which was the
wait. Let's see if anybody remembers those key movements.
Yeah, anybody want to take a guess at what those movements were?
Yeah. What was the key movements at that point
From the
in
50s
history?
to the 70s.
50s to the 70s, guys. Yeah, you can use Google. Might as well. First one gets the answer, gets 10 points. Yeah, okay. You can do it. Come on. I know there's someone out there who can get this. So,
all right, without leaving any more dead air.
Before we go, well, you know what? I actually did a study the other day. Do you know that it's okay to leave? They actually want dead air on lives. I couldn't believe that. Apparently, we run our live. No, we run our live like an actual TV production where
we do.
Dead air is a bad thing. And no, they want that. They want those reactions, those lulls and pauses that I actually have to go in and cut out. Anyway, yeah, go ahead there.
Okay, Anita got one of them. It's the hippie movement.
Yes.
And out of the hippie movement was also born what was called the Jesus movement.
The what now?
The Jesus movement.
Okay.
The Jesus people were a part of that, right?
Can you explain that to the folks that aren't familiar?
So the Jesus movement, you can look it up. There's documentaries on it. It's a fascinating time. There's even been some recent movies that were made. But there were some of the key people in it were guys like Keith Green. And they were members of the hippie movement. And they found this, they were young Christians who kind of had a same falling out with the church that I did. And then became hippies and still loved them some Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the Jesus people became a thing.
Okay.
Around that same time in the hippie movement was also the contactee movement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was all right in that melting pot. You had these, it was a massive spiritual movement on all fronts.
Yeah.
And what this resulted in was people trying to find answers.
Okay.
And they started looking. Some of the books that they found were the Book of the Damned. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Jesus people stayed away from that one. but
you don't say.
But the contactee movement, there were folks in the contactee group that were reading that. Yeah. And then shortly after that comes we've got the Chariots of the Gods was 68. Jacques Vallée's Passport to Magonia was in 69. John Keel was in 1970. The 12th Planet by Zachariah Stitchin, 1976. So we had a 10-year window where these ufologists started churning out all these books that were in the mysteries section, because the occult section hadn't been formed just yet. But they were in the mysteries section of bookstores and libraries. But people started looking for answers.
Well, I mean,
there was some dead time here where all they had was
the answers are right here. Look, right here. Can you see that? That's the answers. It's right there. Anyone can see.
Was God an astronaut?
There you go.
You know, they're asking these questions. So the first person to label aliens, UFOs as demons was a minister by the name of Walter Vincent Grant. He was a preacher from Dallas. Everybody's familiar with what happened in Texas. UFO crash in Texas.
Yeah, that's right. You're talking about
Aurora, Texas.
Aurora, Texas.
And he wrote his book in 1954. Is called Men in Flying Saucers Identified, Not a Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that these things were part of a demonic deception to get us into a one world government and the arrival of the Antichrist. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, you are not serious.
Dead serious. Then Reverend Bill Riddick came out in 1973. You got to look where we're at. We went from the mid 50s.
Yeah.
Now we're into the 70s. We have responses.
Wow.
We're now in 1973. We have responses, rebuts to some of these books. But what's interesting about this, because these people were trying to find answers, they're saying, oh, they're finding these books. They're going to their ministers. Okay. They're going to the ministers with earnest questions. They're not because they were scared, not because they thought they were being possessed, not because they thought that they were being taken by demons, but they wanted to know the answers. And these ministers in turn went and they started trying to find the answers. And unfortunately, there was just not very much when it came to literature on the case. Okay. So they go to the bookstores and the libraries. They're being referred to these sections where you have books by John Keel, books by Jacques Vallée, books from Zachariah Stitchin and Eric von Daniken. Chariots of the Gods was immediately struck, okay, because it posed the question, was God an astronaut? It put the thought out there, along with Zachariah Stitchin, that God was just some kind of transcendent alien that was benevolent and created us and things like that. That was just the overall quick consensus. You know, if you had the cliffnotes.com version, that's what these guys would have collected from this, because they were skimming the book, right? They were just flipping pages, getting the cliff notes just to get an idea. Chariots of God out the window. But then they get to folks like Bill Riddick, like Vincent Grant, and W.T. Whitman. Okay. I was told not to ask those kinds of questions. And they found these ministers. Those ministers were going and they were finding books like Passport, finding books like Operation Trojan Horse, where both the authors, Vallée and Keel, postulate the idea that these are messengers of deception.
Oh, wait. I'll give you one. Hang on. Here. Here's a good one. You'll like this. I mean, guys, there are no sacred cows here. I'm just going to tell you that right up front, just because, you know, we like some of this stuff and we respect these people. They said these things, and, you know, here's the data. It goes on the table.
This may not seem very Fortean to some of you, but everything is interrelated. And the more we study history and the more we study current events, we see that all of these things are linked together in strange ways. That the UFOs, as most of you know who have read my books, I don't think they're extraterrestrial at all. I think they're definitely tied to the human race, and that they react to things that are happening to the human race. I don't think they're vehicles. I think sometimes people see what appears to be vehicles, but they're really hallucinatory. And no matter how reliable the witness is, what they see can be questioned. The same is true in many of our Bigfoot cases and strange monster cases, that the people see some image that's planted in their mind, and the creature itself probably doesn't exist at all, at least not as the creature that's seen. When I was in India, I was impressed at the number of people who were seeing the Indian gods, multi-armed gods and all. Whatever your belief is, these manifestations are going to assume that form.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. I don't think he's wrong at all in that. But you can see how you can take the man's words, twist them around, and
it wasn't just him.
No, it wasn't just him.
You had other key figures in ufology. these ministers were finding figureheads from ufology, referring to these things as something they were very familiar with.
Right.
That it was demonic.
But the congregation.
So that was all they needed.
But the congregation
they wrote their books in response. They made their rebuts. And all of a sudden now we're told not to look into this phenomena, something that had been widely accepted until recent history.
Yeah.
There was another in existence alongside of us, multiple others in existence, various other types and styles of entities. And oftentimes these conversations were had in positive manners. They weren't these gloom and doom, it's demons kind of talk.
See,
but now, because of this, those people, some of them became advisors. Some of them infiltrated and worked and came into government, or their students, their disciples, their pupils went into government. And then now we have this entire narrative where these things now I personally think that we can place labels. I've been gone and yet you still gather. Tell me, who have you been worshiping in my absence? Because it wasn't me.
Oh my goodness, that would be the one and only Adam Good. Everyone, welcome Adam back from beyond the great dimensional shift. We have Adam back in the house.
Joe,
good to have you back here, Adam. Dave, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you could almost say the Sumerians might have been the first ufologists or experiencers in some ways, if their recorded tablets are really, if you want to go that far back.
That's what Stitchin was postulating in the 12th Planet. You know, the way that this was universally viewed by ancient cultures was that you had negative deistic entities, positive deistic entities, neutral deistic entities. You also had negative spiritual. There were different class levels. These were not deistic, but these were spiritual entities, interdimensional, whatever you want to call those guys. Both negative, positive, neutral. And then there was also these visitors, referred to as the visitors. Mm-hmm. And what do you make with that? That was something that they had conversations about.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are, April 2nd, 2026, and we have all of these politicians going in front of a camera, espousing that we're dealing with
no, you take us to presentation. I'll show you what we're dealing with right now. And then we're going to talk about why we're dealing with it, but I'm going to show you what we're dealing with right now.
I want to play you a soundbite. Former colleague of yours, Matt Gaetz, making some pretty shocking statements yesterday about aliens. Take a look.
I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. Aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants.
All right. I mean, I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that
I'm being 100% serious? Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this, if they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up, you'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. I was briefed. I'll just tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, 2 weeks ago. and it would have set the earth on. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers.
Lie sandwich. We have been talking about this for so long at this point. There's truth in there, by the way. There's truth in there. We always wondered how they were going to talk about the hybrid program, didn't we? We always said,
we were curious about how that was going to go. I mean, I remember having that conversation with Wayne.
Oh, yeah. How are they going to talk about this? How are we going to? Yeah. Because, you know, when they started talking about UFOs, I was like, well, you know, we're going to start about, you know, those who are in those eventually. So they did. And they were like, well, you know, they're going to have to start talking about the other stuff now that they've mentioned that this might be real. So what about this? I never guessed in a million years that we would put it in a blender, shake it up, stir it up, and pour that out to the public. That's not how this works. And honestly, if it is, I'm not human anymore. I'm just joining whoever they are at this point.
Yeah.
Because that's absolutely absurd.
And you know, you heard right there, Burchett said he wouldn't touch that breeding program thing, which has circulated for many moons.
It was called something else.
Yeah, right. It's had a few names.
All of this stuff is in the conspiracy lore, and that's what should raise some red flags for people.
Yeah. But Burchett said if people of Earth found out, he started and then went back and said it would turn the country upside down.
Oh, he said it would set the world on. I mean,
yeah.
and I believe that we said the same thing a while back with how far would they go to keep this a secret? Well, I'm just saying.
Skinner said in 1973, the Pascagoula UFO occurred an hour from our house. It caused a stir. 11-year-old me started asking my parents questions. And yes, I did ask our pastor about UFOs.
Really?
And here is.
So how did that go? I'm curious.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Skinner, how'd that go? We're living in a world right now that was inadvertently manipulated.
That's a good way to put it.
By the horsemen of ufology.
They didn't mean to do it.
But they should have known better. At least Valet should have known better. Valet is a brilliant, brilliant mind. And published what he's published. And it was taken, and now, and the crazy thing is J.D. Vance has no idea
where it came from.
That he was quoting John Keel or Jacques Vallée. No clue.
Well, none of
he's
those.
Just parroting what he's heard from other people's concerns.
Well, none of those in the congressions back in those days knew where the pastors were getting that information, Joe.
Right.
And do you think they were going to tell them where they got it? No,
absolutely not. Because then they're going to go look. Well, I was reading the book. I mean, back then and still today, pastors would just lay down the rule and say, "We're not going to read this. This is evil." Harry Potter, the book.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
You know,
good point.
And it's mind numbing. I understand now after flipping some of these rocks over and connecting the dots. I'm so furious.
Yeah, I noticed that we're doing the research on this. You just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've already done 6 hours of preparation for this with all the clips and the, all the documentation. Do I even want to go here at this point? And I'm like, all right, we got to do it somehow. So let's figure out how to work this through. Right. And yeah, it is a difficult one. I mean, it hits, close to home, but
because we've been looking for years as to where did the whole demon thing came from. We knew that there were some pastors who early on were writing these books. Yeah. We had no idea at the time that the pastors that were writing these things and saying these things. They weren't just quoting the guy from the minister from Dallas that was referring to the Aurora incident. They weren't, because that was a rare once-off book.
Yeah.
Okay. They weren't quoting him. He wasn't big on the circuit. They were quoting the researchers that so many of us look up to.
Yeah.
And we had no idea that that's where it originated from. And it's really frustrating because now we're having to deal with this at large in the internet world, where all of these pages are just being overran by hyper religious individuals, and anything that's demons, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, no. And then Ron, tell the good people here that are listening, if it's demons, then what else does that mean?
Do you really want me to go there? Do I have to be the one to do this? Because backstory. Here's a backstory. Here's a backstory for you. This is an exclusive backstory, by the way. Ages ago, after I had my experience, and it did shake my belief system. I told you all this before. I left the whole field for a while because of the infighting and what I had to deal with, which was, how do I rationalize this into my belief system? Well, it was easy for me because I figured it out really quick, you know. The problem being is this, my friends. If you want to go in that mountain and stand with the demon and say everything that is unexplained, strange, weird, extra dimensional science that we don't understand is demons, then you have to ask yourself if the other stuff is true. And I don't mean what this guy said, but if there is a hybridization program, if there is an involvement in creating and perfecting humanity, so to speak, if they have done this, if it's real, if there is a non-human intelligence at work, and we do believe that there is data to show that, by the way, and that it has interfered with us, and that it has possibly gifted us items at times, technologies, and we've probably taken some of that technology at times by force, no doubt. It's what humans do. And if these were demons, well, what does that make us? Because we have the genetics in us, right? Isn't that the theory? It also says, well, we were also going out there and taking their technology. So all of our technology, everything we have, would have demon technology in it, right? So a God-fearing individual living in that kind of world, well, that's not logical. That makes no sense. You wouldn't do that. But you would do that if you were trying to use it as a fear tactic to keep you away from trying to figure out what this really is. And at this point, I'm not going to be like, you know, some people telling you it's the golden ones, it's the angels, it's 100% the Pleiadians coming to save us. I don't know what this is. It's been here a very long time. If it didn't want us here, we wouldn't be here. That's a fact. Based upon everything we've seen, that's a fact. But yeah, think about that before you go and say that, you know, this is all demons. You're going to have to explain away the burning bush, Immaculate Conception.
You're going to have to explain the other side of the coin entirely.
Yeah, literally. And you really don't want to go there. You don't want to do this. There's no need to do this. That should be enough for you to understand that there's two sides to the coin. There always was. There always was two sides. There was never a single side.
So if you claim that it's demons, you have to be really okay with the fact that there's angels doing the exact same thing. And that's one of the main reasons I do not think that we're dealing with a demonic or angelic thing. I think we're dealing with something that is, you have a negative intelligence, or a malevolent intelligence, benign intelligence, and benevolent intelligence.
Well, you know, again, we can look at some of the data, right?
Yeah.
And the data does show that there are multiple things going on here. And it's data from our research as well as others' research.
Yeah.
It's data from people who have collected these accounts over the years. I know there's one going around. I've seen it multiple times now. It's been quoted. I've used to see it a lot every now and again, but now it's been quoted because of Vance. But the whole, there's a MUFON did this study and there's 600 cases of these
Joe
people,
Jordan.
yeah, who called out, Jesus's name and the abduction stopped. Serious researchers, no, they will tell you flat out that's not how that works. If they want you're going, or either it can reflect upon you, and if it is a reflection of your desires and your wants, think about it like that too.
Well, we're coming back to intent here.
Yeah,
now, before we go into that vein, I want to touch what Skinner said.
Go ahead.
He said, "How do you think it went?" Referring to asking the pastor about the Pascagoula event. Dad just gave a look. Mom started crying and apologizing. The pastor said no such things. And in the end, I had to memorize 50 more Bible verses.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
That's the same thing as a pastor saying, I kind of said this last week, the same thing as a pastor or somebody of faith saying, I don't believe in spirits. It's, it's kind of a similar thing.
It's oxymoron if they say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now going to the intent, Joe Jordan's study, he was a veteran MUFON researcher, and he led their STAR team, right? And he was the co-founder and the president of the CE4 research group.
Yeah,
now,
that's
what
him.
that did was
That's
he
him.
studied all the cases of abductions, and he documented over 400 cases. And in these 400 cases, there were these 400 cases specifically were individuals who called on the name and authority of Jesus repeatedly, and it halted or terminated the abduction experience. Now, this is a group of 400 out of a catalog of thousands and thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
But to look at this and talk about that actual aspect,
yeah,
there's a lot of intent involved. As someone who has worked in ways in deliverance ministries, and the intent, it's not the vigor, it's not the yelling and the screaming, it's not any of that. That's not what does it. It's the intent behind the words. It's knowing and trusting that this is gonna work. But then 400 out of thousands,
Well,
multiple thousands.
Well, how many of them called upon their own deity?
Right. But
we don't have that.
Heiser, a gentleman that I used to study a lot of his work, Dr. Michael Heiser, he worked alongside Joe Jordan. Michael Heiser was the lead chair at one of the Bible colleges out in Wisconsin. I can't remember the exact university. But he was the chair of the one of the historic biblical studies course. But he also worked with Joe Jordan. He was invited to work with Joe Jordan because of some of the work and studies he's done on the unseen realm. Now, he saw the thousands of other reports where there was no there was invoking of the name of Jesus and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And the logical response behind that is like, well, whatever that was must not have been either demonic in nature or the intent wasn't there. There were also, like Ron said, where they were calling out to their own deity to stop this thing. And nothing happened. So we're left to believe that we're dealing with some kind of outside force. Whatever this piece of the pie is, where you have UFO encounters or abduction encounters that stopped with the invocation of Jesus, it is an infinitesimally small wedge of the pie.
It really is.
It can't be counted as a whole, like this little wedge is the whole pie.
Right.
Because there's so much data that points to the contrary, that we're dealing with something else. And who's to say, because there is so much overlap. There is so much overlap amongst the whole, I don't want to call it possession, but more of affliction of a spiritual nature.
Yeah.
And what some people describe in the abduction experiences. There's a lot of
Right.
overlap.
Right. There is
there's
overlap.
There's not a holistic overlap is the
Right.
problem. But who's to say that some of those people were not dealing with some sort of spiritual turmoil, and so then it responded to their intent.
Yeah. Well, there is the theory and belief amongst researchers that this phenomena mirrors or reflects back what it thinks that we want or what we're thinking about, like you're saying, intent, and maybe, I mean, we don't know. That's the problem. And I think that's our issue when we get these people who claim to know, but the thing is, we don't know what we don't know. And I think that's the real, the point of this. You're either willing to go and look for it, look more into it, or you're going to just leave it. We say this all the time. It's just like what happened with me. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to come back to it, but I came back to it because I had to, because something kept pointing me in that direction, and I will say this, here's another exclusive for you. My experiences happen a lot of times when I was praying. So you make do with that however you would like. And, I've thought about the whole thing. Oh, well, maybe, as some people have said, oh, you didn't have enough faith, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that's not it. And to say that is very derogatory to someone else. Okay.
It is. And there's really no biblical context for any of that.
Don't judge anyone. Don't do that. It's not right.
Well, and I'm going to give you the reason that is just an absolute load of trash. When anybody says, well, you must not have had enough faith. There were people throughout history in ancient cultures, all the way leading up into the time that Jesus was walking and performing miracles. Many of the miracles that were performed required absolutely no faith on the other person's side.
That's a good point.
None.
That's a very good point.
There were people who were involved in these things that were not believers. Okay. Specifically in many of Jesus's miracles, the recipient was not a believer. That blows that whole notion out of the water.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
And seek the answers. Absolutely.
Well, we're not going to find answers unless we can all get together and talk. And we were talking about this the other day. We think it's really amazing. And, truly, we are blessed because we have, all these people who come in here and sit at this table and can freely talk and have this amazing discourse. And you've got believers, you've got atheists, you've got people who don't care, you've got people who are just here for the laughs and giggles, and everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Boy, if we could just do that everywhere, we'd be all right, wouldn't we? But that's what it's kind of all about. And I think that's why most of you guys end up here, is because you do see that there is more to this, that there's something underneath this. So the real question is, what in the world are they afraid of? Like what is this?
It boils down to control. Now, here in the West, we have dropped and escaped and walked away from very much of the Eastern style worldviews.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern style worldviews is there are pantheons of entities, literally.
Right.
And if you go to India and you talk to folks in India or from India, and you talk to them about what's going on in their religions and things of that nature, they're kind of divvied up into cultures, into their little towns, and each town has its own god that they worship. And if they don't worship that god, then somebody in that town is going to kill them.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like that, and that's in modern day right now India.
Wow.
So, but to them, a multi-spectral reality exists.
It's normal.
They're open to it. It's part of their worldview. For whatever reason, here in America, in the West specifically, because it's not just America, it's all the Western countries, and Western philosophizing, Is that a word?
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
making things up.
Making it up. Just
All
go
the
with
Western countries that fall into that category,
Yeah.
they don't share that worldview. They have a very modernized, very materialistic worldview.
Right.
And that's part of the problem, because now you have something you don't understand. You have ufologists who've inadvertently fed pastors and ministers all the cue cards and talking points that they
Right.
need to perpetuate the idea that we're dealing with demons. And then you circle back to modern ufologists, and we're studying this phenomena, and we're trying to do it in a scientific way. Yes, there does seem to be aspects of this that absolutely defy all logic and comprehension. And it brings us back into that Eastern worldview thought. It forces you back into that, whether you want to be or not.
Right.
And here you are. And then you find out that the people that you looked up to, the people that you've read their books, you've studied their work, you've even shared on this show, we've shared their talking points, we've shared their philosophy, and then you find out that they are the very root cause for why we're dealing with all the nonsense on the internet right now, and all the nonsense in the media right now saying that this is demons, and that's why they're not going to disclose information, because it's demons and it'll rip things apart. If that's the case, let it rip things apart at this point.
Well, that's kind of what Bert Chip was saying.
I agree.
He says that, no, we'll understand it. We'll be okay with it, which means that I'm pretty sure that he doesn't think that what Gates is saying is.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think we know where that came from. And we need a little more research on it, because that was the last minute kind of thing. But I'm fairly certain that that is the same stuff that's been going around in conspiracy land for a long time.
I think it all roots back to Ike.
And someone is feeding these whistleblowers and the Congress itself stuff. They're feeding them this literal platter of mixed truths, so that it'll either make it seem so ridiculous they won't touch it, or it's so terrifying they won't touch it. It's one of the two. But you can't trust anything they're saying. We literally are living in X-Files right now. Trust no.
They're just constantly dangling a carrot in front of us, though, which is constant.
No, they're not. That's the thing. That's what it seems like, Dave. But what's happening is there are people like us on that side as well. And they're like, this is what you need to look at. And as soon as we show them what they need to look at, that's when they do what they just did. That always comes after we're getting close to a major breakthrough. That's what happens. If anyone's dangling a carrot, it's ourselves, to be honest. If we would just stop, they would win and it would all go away. But we're not going to do that.
Yep, we're going to keep being the disruptors.
And I don't mean we.
That's just what we do.
It's everybody that out there that's doing this. And there's so many of them. I mean, that's the whole thing. And that's all we can hope for. It's another movement. It's just a truth type movement, I guess. We don't have a name for it.
Well, the most terrifying part about it right now is the number of people and researchers that are going missing, or wound up just dead.
They're gone. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know that. We can't say that. We don't know what happened to them at this point. They're just gone, Dave. I mean, we can speculate as to it, but they're just magically gone. They've been disappeared. And that's what should worry people. But and let's be real here. There's a couple of those cases that it looks like at this point may be completely coincidental. We don't know. But there's a couple of them, like he was saying there, that you got at least four of them that knew this project very well. The general, come on, man, he was 30 some years at Right Pat.
Yeah.
He knew some stuff. So you take that for however it is. Let's get some comments, questions up here.
Adam brings up, says, my cousin's from India. That doesn't sound like her religious views. Ask your cousin about the communities along the South Ganges. Those are the people that I've had personal relationship with and communication with.
Well, there's some very different people out there. And I think
India's
that's one of
a really big place too. And there's certain parts of India that are westernized. There are certain parts that are still very, very tribally oriented. You've got Buddhists, you've got Hindus, you've got variations of Islam, and then you have a lot of polytheistic religions there as well.
I think
There's
one of
about
our
2 billion people in India, if I recall, 1 or 2 billion.
I think one of our issues is this. People, when they hear something, they tend to gravitate with whatever it is that they want. And this is how you end up with all those different groups that are splintered, and where one little thing changes from another, and so forth and so on. And it trickles down. The amount of beliefs that are on this planet, I don't know if anyone's ever done that study. I don't know. Maybe that's something for AI to calculate, because I can imagine it would be into the billions and billions at this point. Billions and billions. Anyway, I believe that would be accurate to say, because, data and belief, man, they're the same coin, but they're different heads of that coin. They don't have to be, but unfortunately they are.
Brenda Ratliff asks, I was wondering if those people are being disappeared for some kind of Depop.
We don't know.
It's a possibility, but
we don't know.
For me, my first thought, based off of the high profile of a couple of them, was that they were essentially involuntarily re-enlisted.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first thought. Now I'm not so sure.
Right. You thought it was like a Stargate situation when they go out and they find,
yeah,
Jack, at the
pretty
cabin.
much.
Yeah.
Go out and get Jack and bring him back in and be like, look, we got a job.
We got a job for you. You can't say
$10.
no.
Thanks. Dave. Appreciate
thank
it.
you,
Dave
Dave.
Eccleston. Good seeing you in
Thank
there. Sorry for running late. Had a little Maudie Thursday mayhem with our 4-year-old. Hey, man, my 4-year-old, let me tell you. Let me tell you about my 4-year-old today, real quick. So go to Little Caesars. Thursday's pizza day. Come home from Little Caesars. His favorite thing, he loves pizza, eats pizza, but he loves the Italian cheesy bread, because, they're cut up in nice little squares 99.999% of the time. Well, today was that 0.000% of the time where it was not cut at all.
Oh.
And he wanted specific pieces, because he likes the corner pieces that have the crunchy cheese on them. And, when you're ripping them apart with big hands, it doesn't go well. And he was not happy. So I had to go back out, because it turned into just this catastrophe.
Wow.
So I had to go back. I had to drive 20 minutes back to Little Caesars, get another Italian cheese bread, drive all the way back. And this one also was not cut.
What?
Yeah, well, it also was not cut. So I came back, and this time I went and I got my big pizza cutter and cut it up and made him the nice little pieces that he's used to seeing. And yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's happy. He got his cheesy bread and his belly's full, and now he's not being
That's crazy. Folks, I see that we have like 50 some people out there. Make sure that you are hitting that like and share and all that stuff. I mean, unfortunately, there's going to be other stuff that gets shared out, and it probably won't be this. And it needs to be, quite honestly. The truth is often not as interesting as the speculation on some of this stuff. And
so, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, questions, please. Questions,
any
comments.
Questions regarding what we've covered so far, because it's a deep, heavy topic, and it's very irritating.
Yeah, it is deep,
and we understand the irritation that you guys could have with it, because we're definitely irritated.
And I do know that the more interaction that they give, the less commercials they're supposed to see. just to let you know, they actually, they made us actually a new way to do commercials, and it's like less obtrusive to your viewing audience,
So if
or
you're
less
actively engaged, they
Yes.
won't interrupt you.
Yes, they wait until there's a lull, and then they hit the commercials. So just to let you know, the more you interact with commercials, you'll see it's just great. Anyway,
remember, like, share, subscribe. That's Ron Landham over there. Where's my finger even going?
I see you can't do it any more than
There
I
we
can.
go.
You got to do it backwards.
I know, I'm trying to go back.
It's
There's
weird.
Dave Roberts. This is Joe Perdue. We're Wild and Weird Radio. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. We actually have a podcast somewhere out there. If you want to go listen to that, you can as well.
All right.
Here we
Enzo
go.
says, do you see this as a main theme moving forward? Demons behind every light in the sky. I personally think that is something that they're going to try to push. There's only going to be, because there's even division amongst evangelicals at this point about it. There's so many people within the church have become so disenfranchised at the moment. Okay, for various reasons, and they're now not listening to the talking heads, and they're starting to look. People are actually getting smart and starting to look for themselves. So I think that yes, they will try to push some of that. I do not know, however, if it's going to work.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with the disinformation part, because we knew about the whole demon side. I've been hearing that forever. I mean, but I'm more concerned with the disinformation side and this stuff that they pulled with the whole hybridization program. They threw all your fears in there. They threw, children abductions. They threw it all in one thing. The thing that you fear the most, they put it in there. This is absolutely insane. I can tell you this. I promise you this. I don't think that whatever this is would go down that easy. I don't think they're going to hold something like this, because I don't think that this is 100% physical if it doesn't want to be. And maybe that's just one or two of them. Maybe they have different ones. I don't know. We've talked about that too, because there's multiple versions. But I do know this, that if that's the case, then who's to say that someone's not coming to get them? It's not a rescue party. There's not a we don't leave anyone behind situation going on here.
They're building a lot of bunkers right now.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Trackway asks, do other countries put this much resistance to information on the topic? The UK has, Japan has until recently.
Right.
China and Russia share information between themselves, but no one else. So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
They just don't. I don't think that I haven't seen anybody casting labels nearly as much as the morons in front of cameras.
True.
Well, there's a famous quote. It's been attributed to many people: "Never let a good crisis go to waste." And I think that's another situation we're potentially in, because they're going to use whatever this is to create some type of crisis. And I think it comes down, like a few people have said this, and I think we all agree, to some form of control.
Well, I mean, look at 9/11. Look what we did. Look at how the entire country was like, hey, you know what? Patriot Act. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward 25 years later, and it's still here.
Yeah. Think about that. So here's your thing. Here's what I think. I think that we are a stone's throw from disclosure. Real disclosure. Undeniable. 100%. Here it is in your face, disclosure. And I think someone is terrified that we are that close. That's what I think. I think you're seeing the last plays of a desperate faction of who are controlling this, who have controlled it forever. And I think that this is the only way that they can really gain any control over this. But they don't have control. Control was taken out of our hands. We told you this in 2022, I think it was. 2021, 2022. I don't remember when we said it. I don't think that this is in our hands anymore. And we're here. I'm not willing to jump on the Chris Bledsoe thing here and say, it's going to be a great day of this, and I have the exact moment when it's going to happen. I don't have that. I don't have that at all. But I can tell you that things
It's
are
because
about
you
to
can't
change.
manipulate other timelines, Ron.
I can't manipulate other timelines, Joe. And if I can, I forgot them, and I don't know how to do that anymore. But I can tell you that this thing has been here a while, and I think it's talked to a lot of people. And I think that people they've gotten the message in multiple ways, and sometimes it's gone to their heads and it's messed them up. And, you have to ask, is it using those people willfully, or are those people being manipulated by their egos? I don't know. The problem is there are humans involved. That's the problem.
Humans are ridiculous.
They are. They're absolutely ridiculous. That's a fact. And I can just imagine.
Look at this. I'd be much more functional if I had crab parts. Anyway, Enzo says, is the disinformation that demons are silly and the whole thing must be foolishness?
No, I don't think so. I think they want you to take it serious. Fear.
Yeah. Stone Maven, I don't think that they're demons, nor do I believe they're all benevolent.
They're not.
But no more evil than a human being, for what that's worth. Human beings are just that. You knock that stone on the head.
Yeah.
We don't need help from demons majority of the time. We're good enough being bad all on our own.
We've had enough through history.
Oh, that's so true.
Dave Eggleston, I think that's the exact text message that I sent to Ron. Vance will say whatever he thinks will win him the nomination. Next time around, he says a lot of stuff he doesn't believe. Yep. That's the exact same thing I sent to Ron as soon as he sent it to me. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Yep. Let's get those questions.
Information, censorship, misinformation, disinformation. Bingo.
Absolutely.
Jen says it's only demons because they can't control it. So everyone should be scared. Seth Womack, man, you'll enjoy this one. Go back and scroll to the front here and watch it. You'll like this one.
Yeah, this was
you're pressured. Carrots equal sticks or plus sticks.
It's like I said, it was one of those this is one of those conversations we all have to have, and gather around and have it now. Ask your questions now, because tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
And we know what happens tomorrow at around 3 to 4 o'clock window.
I'll get Joe secretary on that.
Dave says if aliens were demons, it would be pretty darn obvious by now, right?
Well, I mean, I can go to this thing because we've said it before. I've been quoted saying it multiple times at this point. The whole thing of demons is that demons are malevolent. Demons are evil. They seek to push you away from God. They seek to destroy you, your family, everything. Yet whatever this was, it literally created a family. And most of those people in that family actually found their own ways to God, to Creator, to whatever they want to call it. It doesn't matter. The point is, if it's evil, it's doing a very, very, very bad job.
I have a rhetorical question.
What's that, bud?
Let's say that these alien beings, or whatever they are, I've never heard anybody mention this. Do they have religion? Do they have faith?
Yes.
If they have multiple races of beings, do they each have their own individual faiths or religions?
Well, that's another one of the information drops that you're probably going to see tomorrow, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Because we saw a little brief clip of that earlier this week, and that's typically how it works. We get a little brief clip about midweek, and then it's like Friday it drops. According to this little brief, what you just said, David, yes, they have a relationship with what we would consider to be God, and they are on a mission.
It's like the Blues Brothers, but aliens.
So like dress up as the Blues Brothers to be our costumes.
Now my character, my main in Fortnite, makes even more sense. He's not one of the MIB. He's one of the Blues Brothers, and he's here on a mission from God.
That's it, man. That's it. I think we all are.
And I just drop in and start blasting.
Right time. I'm a mission from God.
It's kind of what we do. We just blast in a different way.
But yeah, no, that's possible. We could see that. I think that part will be a little bit more prepared, but it could be, I don't know. They could drop something with it being Good Friday and whatnot. It is a holiday.
Right.
But yeah, it's,
no, Adam's got that right. That's 100%.
The disclosures that the news is manufactured. Disclosures already happened. It's happening in our living rooms, not on the news. Yep.
I mean, it's happened. We called this. I mean, when do you guys think that when we did the phases? I think the phases were pretty much right on.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the first shows. Watch the first shows. You'll see we're talking about phases of disclosure, and we go through them. One, I think it was 4 phases. When the 4th phase was over, this is the world we're in. And, you know, again, we're not prophets. So, you know, don't go out and start building altars. And, you know, when you go back and listen to that stuff and start, you know, doing.
We're just really good at connecting dots and data points.
Exactly. Just look at the pattern.
We have really good pattern recognition. There's probably something wrong with us.
There probably is. Seriously something wrong with us when it comes to that, because we do look for these patterns.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but here earlier today, a name that we don't normally bring up too often just because of the controversial figure. I'll just say his last name was Greer.
Oh, no, you can say Greer. We're okay saying Greer.
He is actually the you guess I'll have to go back and check it out. I think it's on his Facebook page, but I watched it not long before the show came on, and he's already basically what this show is about tonight. Everything that we're going to talk about, of course, not as much detail. He is pretty much almost identical to what we're talking about tonight. Like, he was spewing one thing a couple weeks ago. Now he's kind of spewing almost what we're talking about tonight. Saying the same things about the government and the conspiracy of the demons versus the aliens, or, you know, you get it. You get it.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
I was kind of laughing when I was like, okay.
I get it.
So Jen says, I was a little unsure about Daryl and Bashar, but the more I've listened to him, the more sense he makes.
We actually talked about that last week. You know, after seeing him on the what was it, the what's her name? I can't remember think of her name. The show. Yeah, her. After seeing that interview, it's like, you know what? I mean, I think that the guy is onto something, and I don't disbelieve him. UAP egg hunt. There you go.
Godot says, don't forget and follow the Grush news.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently one of the big things that's flown around Grush is that there was a weapon pulled on him as he was on the way to the skiff.
Hang on, I think I actually have that. Hang on a second. Why don't you bring that up?
I actually hadn't heard that.
Presentation mode, please.
We're in it.
Go. This one? See if this is it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see this.
It was Luna.
Hang on. Is it working? Do some studio. Do that again.
It wants to work.
Hang on. We'll see if it'll work.
Had an instance that happened with David Grush to where he was coming in to do a video skiff conference with Burleson and I. And on the way in, he had a very weird incident that happened that I've never, you know, it's like very coincidental timing, where someone actually pulled a firearm on him as he was driving in. So, and he also too was worried about retribution. He'd been messed with extensively after he testified.
To a different story that we're following today, a trial surrounding UFO whistle.
See, that happened before. He's been constantly, hit. This was right after. You guys remember this. This is right after he had came forward with Congress. This is what happened then.
Blower David Grush. He is taking a Virginia sheriff's office to court, alleging that the department purposely released his medical records and they landed in a hit piece.
So, Marky, David Grush says that the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office illegally released these records, which ended up in a news article just a few weeks after he testified on Capitol Hill about these explosive UFO claims that he actually exclusively told News Nation about back in 2023. Now, he believes the medical info was leaked on purpose, all to smear him and discredit his record.
Yep. So this is, part of the MO. Anyone who watched the Borland interview with Knapp and Corbell, you saw that. And where he's talking about how they kind of go in and try to discredit people. And if not, they'll do other things. So then you come back to those 4 scientists. And it's like, because we know that, allegedly, one of them at least, I think a couple of them had testified to Congress. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on out there, but I will say this, they will do a lot to keep this secret. So you have to ask yourself, what is the secret? And I don't think it's demons, guys. I don't think it's demons. That's what I'm going to tell you.
I think that I tend to agree with Burchett's sentiments that whatever it is that comes out will turn the majority of the general pop on their ear.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we need to have these conversations, as hard as they may be. That's why we need to get this stuff shared out. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is, just watch it. It's going to happen. You're there. We are at the end. Disclosure is over. This is the new beginning. We're in post-disclosure, and it's about to get very real. And again, that is not, talking like some kind of a doomsayer or prophet. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am going to tell you that things are going to change. And, the interview with McMonagle, I want to bring that up. So
right. While you're getting that ready, Pat asked what was in his medical records that would discredit him. And that was PTSD. And extreme
Depression.
Anxiety disorders that resulted from said PTSD. And they were trying to use that as a means to damage his credibility.
Yeah.
The same thing they try to do with any other veteran that's trying to get a claim.
Yeah, we
get help. Like a mental case.
Yeah, we actually went when that happened. We addressed that, and I remember we both kind of went off on that one.
Oh yeah,
because that's really messed up. Anyway, take us to presentation, Mike.
Here we go.
So this is from a recent interview with probably one of the most. I don't know. I don't even know what he is. I think if he's beyond just a remote viewer. He is one who has seen stuff, tested stuff, validated stuff. And to me, when I heard some of the stuff that he had seen, it validated stuff that I had seen years before. And that it gets kind of personal at that point, but I take what he says very seriously. Let's just say that. And I think we're on the same track. So here's Joe.
And we're reaching a point where we may figure out that multidimensionality is a way to jump from star to star. You disappear out of this reality, you reappear in it in some other place. Simple way instantly to go from one star to the other. Maybe that's how we're being watched. I don't know. I just know that I got this feeling, it's in my gut as a viewer, remote viewer. I'm feeling some big discovery is coming down the pike. And that big discovery is we're being watched very carefully to see what we do with it. And if we do the same thing, we just say, okay, we can, let's do it. We may be, in fact, learning to jump from star to star. And if we're still considered to be children playing with matches, which we are when it comes to atomic energy, would we appear to be a definite threat to other peaceful societies or entities somewhere? Yes.
Here's the other part.
So, what happens when that occurs? You're perceived as an extreme danger. I'll tell you what I think happens. You get knocked back to sticks and stones. And I think there's ample proof on the planet for the fact that modern society has existed before and got knocked back to sticks and stones and had to start over again. I think it's a way of teaching a lesson that maybe the next time around they'll be mature enough to not make these weapons of destruction.
Well, now, there's something for you to think about.
And everyone, I could recommend the Book of the Hopi to you.
Right. The four destructions.
That. And Joe brings up a good point that we are seeing more and more proof that our existence as a species has been far longer than what we've ever been taught. That needle keeps being pushed back week by week, like Dave was saying earlier. Sometimes thousands of years by a finding, sometimes 1 million or 2 years. The twist is we are the monsters, right?
No,
we're
really.
the dangerous ones.
We are the dangerous ones. I think that he's 100% right. And go ahead.
Well, so it's like, I mean, this might be gotten a little bit in left field. I mean, maybe not as much with you guys or the viewers, but you talk about the history going back, and he mentioned sticks and stones. Well, you look at Mars, and then I just saw an article. I think we might have shared it with one another. I can't remember, but there was an article that had come out where this researcher, he's a professional researcher, a scientist, he actually believes that Mars actually had a nuclear event in its ancient past. We're talking millions of years ago, because it shows, it shows signs of nuclear explosion, like the chemicals. It's a high level of it.
Yeah.
That shows some type of that it was created. But yet there's some other scientists that are saying no, it's just you're seeing it because of other, maybe the atmosphere.
Lack of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, who knows? But it's just I'm just putting that out there.
Seth says, I think there's a.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go back up.
I think there's a correlation between real upcoming disclosure and the regained interest in going back to the moon. Interesting timing. Stone Maven says
we're not landing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're supposed to be building a base by.
Oh yeah.
The base is supposed to be started in 2027 and completed in, I think, 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
A $27 billion project.
Yeah. Stone Maven.
Stone Maven says, I think we've advanced further than humanity ever has before this time.
No, we haven't. And I can tell you that we haven't, because of the things that have been dug up or allegedly dug up. No, I don't know anything. So don't come looking at me and, I'm not off, hiking.
But there
somewhere.
apparently is information coming soon.
Yes, there is. And, even like someone had mentioned the Book of the Hopi before, right after we did there, but the Book of the Hopi even talks about that, the flying shields that allowed, that allowed, the countries to travel from one country to the other at the blink of an eye and literally wage war amongst themselves. That's one of the reasons they were destroyed, those flying shields. And, yeah, they're still out there. I think that's the issue. I think that's one of the big secrets. And I don't want to say too much because, again, some researchers, should have learned years ago not to say too much. So
Right?
I'm
In a
not going to
public way?
say, yeah, exactly, in a public way. So I'm not going to go there publicly with it because it's really just speculation at this point. And sure, it's based on some experiences and some stuff I think I know, but that's as far as it goes, and it doesn't need to go anywhere else right now.
Anita Allen says, I wonder if the Bigfoot are a previous human species that failed and was removed, and what we see now is the last survivors.
Well, actually, Glenn expounded on that a little bit out of complete coincidence, as you recall, while we were shooting Horizons during that interview. And what was funny is I asked that question. I asked him a question about what you sort of like that. I said something about, there are those who believe that they're there to replace us because they're stronger. They can, they can adapt faster. They're surviving machines. And he kind of smiled and said, it's funny you said that because me and Mike were just talking about this last night, and it's something they don't really talk about. But yeah, that's one of Robert Morgan's beliefs, was that passed down from the tribes, that they were here to replace us if things went south, and they would carry on in some way, shape, or form.
Jen says, Bashar says that soft disclosure will be this year in 2027 through 2033 will be major incorporation of us with them. Yeah, that was the one that he did with Mayim Bailey.
Mayim, that's it. Yeah. Couldn't remember I can't remember the name of the show though.
Yeah.
For some reason.
It's something with Mayim.
I can't remember what it is.
But yeah, it's her YouTube show. She's got I'll watch her show a lot. Like, I'm subscribed, so I wasn't even paying attention, and it was just rolling. My YouTube was just rolling whenever the Bashar thing came on, and I was like, I didn't click a Bashar video. What is this? And I turned
it's
to follow
weird.
her, and I was like, oh, well, this will be interesting. I'll leave it on.
All I know is when I got a link from you about Bashar, I'm like, what? So I watched it, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like in certain sections of that were literally taken out of my own life, which is just absolutely unreal. And more validation that I didn't expect. Thank you. The breakdown. That's what it was.
Breakdown.
That's it. Yes. Breakdown. Very good. Very good podcast. I suggest you.
Her show's
got an open mind. Go watch it. It's really good. It's one of the ones that makes you think. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, is make you think. Questions, people, get them out here, because we've covered a lot tonight. Questions, concerns, that's okay too.
Seth says, I believe that humans have tried multiple avenues of technology before global cataclysms destroy what progress has been made, and I think most of it is a cycle. I agree, my friend.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I was going to say, sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to
No, go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, after World War II, ironically, I'm thinking of 47 comes to mind, but just in a 40, 50-year period up to 2000, there was a massive technological leap. I mean, massive. You guys know, everybody knows this. Yeah. And just in the past, let's just say past 5 to 10 years, it seems like we've gone, or we're right in the middle, or maybe towards the end of another giant leap. Like much people are mentioning the AI. I do think the AI is much more advanced than what we are currently aware of, especially if you factor in the military and black programs that are usually 20 years ahead of everything else. So, I think we are in the middle of a gigantic technological leap, along with this event that's going on. And I think they are tied together. That's my personal opinion, of course. But,
LR, we'll see you out there.
Julie Bug says, connected, unified consciousness is the biggest fear, and most ancient tech they hide and manipulate to their favor.
I think that there's an ancient technology that we use every day. That's what I think. And it's been integrated, and it's been more integrated at this point. And I think I think that that technology, there's your Trojan horse.
Yeah.
If there is one.
Yeah. And that could be
Anita
AI.
Allen says, some days I want to remote view the future. And then I look around and think, nope, can't deal with more bad news.
Nope. You don't want to see that. Let's just say you don't want to see that there. And here's the other thing about that. It's always in flux. So that's one of the good things. If you have seen it, it's a possible outcome. It's not the outcome.
Right.
Hey, Beth. So
well, now you're just starting to sound like Bledsoe.
Thank you. Let's go chase some orbs.
So for anybody who's missing that, we're not necessarily taking jabs for no reason at Chris Bledsoe tonight. There were some of the things that he was told by the lady that he repeated, and this is one of the reasons why when I taught people how to tap into the supernatural, and I explained to them 99% of what you're going to hear is not for the rest of the world. It's for you. Hold on to it and shelve it. Put it back there like a collector's item. Watch it and see if it matures. Because sometimes it's like a shotgun. And there's information that comes and it's all scattered all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And you're picking up on pieces of it that you weren't supposed to get. Well, no one ever taught that to Chris, unfortunately. And Chris said with some of his things that the lady was telling him that never came to pass by the dates that he was saying, he's like, oh, well, that was for a different timeline.
Well, I mean, he's kind of saying.
I mean, it's universal theory. If you really want to get down to brass tacks, it could be, yeah, sure.
I mean, I think he's trying to say, oh, well, if this happens, then that. And that was kind of his way of getting around that. But all I know is he's changed the date 3 times now. That's all I can tell you. So, it was originally Easter, then it was in August, and now it's in October, whenever they invited him down. But something is happening that day at the Sphinx. There is going to be an announcement, from what I understand. That is legit. So
what's that underground structure they found?
What's that?
Is it that underground structure they think they found, like that
I don't know.
second Sphinx?
I don't know.
Well, see, that's what you brought up, the second Sphinx thing. There's a possibility of a second Sphinx. We've had artwork of a second Sphinx for ages.
Yeah.
They found that on several different structures in the hieroglyphs of 2 Sphinxes, and we've only ever seen one.
Yeah.
There's a location that they speculate, and sure enough, there is a Sphinx-shaped mound of sand. And that's kind of how they stumbled across the first one, was just like, oh, they saw this much of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then started digging. So, could be. But then there's also the LiDAR scans and those satellite scans.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's coming down the pike, but we know that there's a lot of stuff going on in Egypt right now, and they're getting ready to do some big press conference.
I'll tell you this, as far as that stuff with the underground cities and all that, watched a very good documentary on those guys, and the explanation that they gave about how that technology works. It's contrary to what the skeptics were trying to throw at you and tell you that it's not possible. It is possible. It's very possible. And it's not only possible, he talks pretty much, tells you exactly how it works. And it makes perfect sense for anyone who understands that.
Well, you got to wonder too that that whole thing in Giza around that, well, not just there, but all over the desert areas in there. I mean, Egypt itself, though, you got to wonder what was the original ground level, because that sand builds up over 4,000 years,
Finding that was Edgar Casey. And yes, David, you're right. There's more stuff buried in the sands of Egypt.
Bring them up. Bring them up if you're referencing them. Click them.
Yeah.
What is it? No, I just
click
saw
on
that.
them, bring them up because I can't. I'm behind. I'm trying to get to some of them.
You
here.
are behind. Wow. Oh, you guys are really commenting. You got Joe's fingers working over here. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah.
I mean,
Seth
yeah,
is
it's
a
like
tic-tac shaped
I'm
object
dead.
underneath the Giza Plateau, supposedly 40 meters long.
I hadn't seen that one yet. And you have to be careful. Man, the disinformation bots are out there. I'll just tell you that.
Facebook, yeah.
Well, there's the earthquake today. Here's a prime example. And I got hit on that one because I got a message notification that there was another earthquake, a bigger earthquake, and that there was a tsunami warning and, all this. And it was for an earlier, happened, December, right?
December.
Like that.
Yep.
Yeah, December. Because I sent it to you and he's like, another one? I'm like, hang on a minute. So I went and I checked it out. Like, no, this isn't real. So yeah, you got to kind of be careful. There's, again, controlling the narratives.
Yep. And sometimes the apps too will push notifications once you turn it on after a long time.
Yeah.
It'll have some old ones backed up and it'll push them all through. This was the one Trackwave mentioned. The seer, I can't think of his name, spoke of a major find under the feet of the Sphinx years ago. Who was that?
I remember that.
That's Edgar Casey.
Oh.
Casey, yeah. The sleeping prophet.
Yep. And then now we also have Bledsoe saying that Regulus and
this is
the Sphinx and
this is my issue with Bledsoe. This is my number one issue with him, by the way. I think he did have, like I said, some experiences. I think he saw some stuff. I think he interpreted it through his own lens. But that whole thing with the Sphinx, it's almost exactly the same quote from Casey. And give credit where credit's due.
Oz says, I'm really concerned that two Sphinx are sphincter.
Okay.
I have a meme on that exact thing, but it's probably not appropriate to show
No,
here.
it's
but
not.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'll show it to you later on because I know you love that kind of stuff.
No, I don't.
Okay. So Jason Ratliff says, hey, fam, Joe, there is no second Sphinx. The mound did not exist prior to 1929, proven via photo. Okay, good information there. Thank you. Showed the photos on Megalithomania UK that came around from excavation in 1929. So that would mean essentially that would be a moving dune. That would just be a migratory dune. Then those folks are saying would be the location of a second.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm not there, so I can't make any claim one way or the other. Nor do I.
Well, I mean, that is a common occurrence.
Yes.
The dunes move. They're like living organisms.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's again, look at how many feet of sand is there. There could be anything there. But I'm talking about this whole second Sphinx thing. I saw those news come across the wire, and I'm like, honestly, that's what I did because there's so many people at this point who are saying things are happening in Egypt and so forth. I'm like, we'll see. But now that this meeting, this press conference or whatever is taking place in October, okay, I'm interested. I want to hear this. Yeah. But there's
I think that the press conference more or less pertains to some of the stuff now because they've had 3 different parties.
Yep.
That have conducted scans.
Yes.
At Khufu and 2 other sites.
Yeah.
And
it's the whole Giza complex, from what I understand.
Right. I think, and it's not just one company that has scanned. They've now had enough data to compile it and overlay and confirm, and all the mockery. And I think probably the reason they blasted the original company that came out with some of that is because they didn't wait for the review. And I bet the Egypt House of Antiquities was really trying to get more data, and that's why they just busted their chops.
All I can tell you is it made perfect sense to me because that's kind of what Giorgio had said. He said that they had been to dinner with Hawass at one point, and he said, it's up to you to prove this, not us. kind of implied that his hands were tied, you know. But once they had enough proof, who knows? Then, you've got the data, because they just want data, they want the proof. And if someone has actually found that data, there's proof there that there is something, maybe it was enough to actually get, like you said, multiple validations from different sources. And if that's the case, man, it could change history. But, knowing these press conferences, come on, everybody has to remember this. If you were around in the day, the whole Geraldo Rivera thing and the pyramids. I don't know if any of you even recall that, but that was a thing. It made news. Great discovery in the pyramids. They found this shaft, and they were going to send this little robot up the shaft, and it was going to, find this great mystery, and et cetera, et cetera. The Upanat, that was the name of the little robot. And they sent him up the shaft, and he hit a wall, and there was like two little tabs on that, and I don't know. They discovered the shafts, though. They did discover there were more shafts. And then they theorized that the shafts, well, they weren't theory. They were actually in alignment with certain stars. So they theorized that those shafts were actually used to send the king's soul to these stars. This was a Stargate. And that's kind of where some of that came from.
Because they were still at the time thinking they were going to find a sarcophagus.
Right. That it was going to lead to a room hidden within. Yeah. Dark Wolf, thank you.
Chris, thanks, man. Can't wait to see you there, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all heard me. I'd say you guys wonder why I love astronomy for, because all that stuff always tends to go back to that at some point,
Julie says, think about it. What's under the coastlines after the last ice age? Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What's left after all the devastation and erosion being on the coastline? Probably not so hot, but I doubt much is under the ocean. You would be shocked at what's actually been discovered just in the last 3 or 4 months. There's a drought in Africa and Spain currently, and the ocean has lowered significantly in those regions. And there's a bridge. There's a bridge that is under the ocean off the coast of Spain. And it's never been seen before, and it's still under the water, but there were some people that saw the structure, dove down, and then was like, holy crap, this is an old stone bridge. And it's a carved bridge, carved stone.
I think we're going to have to
didn't they say, Joe, that one was like the last time it was above water was around 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, and that's just above water, barely.
That's just above water. Yeah.
And then you add that up, it might put it up to 14,000, 15,000. And you think about, I'm just speculating.
Oh, yeah.
You're
not wrong. Yeah. And it is in that area where the Great Reset, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're exactly right.
I think that
up in Norway, there was a find where some ice melt went away, and they found a longhouse that predated any time that we even knew that there was humans in that region. And not only did it predate the fact of time when we thought humans were that far north, but we found carved wooden structure and a house and a wall. There's walls that were built. It's crazy.
It absolutely is crazy. And I really do think that that's some of our issues. I think that these are some of the secrets that they're trying to keep. I don't know why, but it's, for whatever reason, not in our interest for some reason to know that there was someone before us, probably because they're still here.
One thing too, like you look at geology in general, for the age of the Earth and everything else, and it's like right here in West Virginia where we're at, the New River is one of the most ancient rivers in existence, and then you look at other, of course there was Gaia, and the continents are all one as they separated, like the entire UK was connected to North America at one point, and then they say it was part of the Appalachian Mountain Range at one point, which again is one of the oldest mountain ranges. So you got to think, if we could dig down deep enough into these mountains between here, UK, and other places all over the world, What else could we find that's buried so
Well,
deep?
if this tells you anything, in southern West Virginia, on top of a mountain, I found over 2 buckets, 2 5-gallon buckets of coral fossils.
Yeah.
Stony polyps, large colonies, some of which are big as a basketball. And that was on the top of the mountains that exist there currently. Some of them are around 4,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are those
And the
mountains?
caves in West Virginia, we have over 4,000 known caves in West Virginia, just West Virginia alone, not including Virginia. And the amount of coral and other objects that are found in these caves, plus ancient life. So it's just in our own backyard. It's so interesting of what could be found.
We've gone up 2 subs in this show, folks. So I guess someone likes it at this point. They'll play it back later and not like it. So we'll be back down to 90. But, we appreciate it. We really do. And we're still moving forward. And that's what it's all about. Thank you, Jordan. Hang on. I'll find a flute here. I got one somewhere.
Julie said, I think they will find more, but I also think some parts of history Mother Nature definitely took back. Oh, absolutely.
No question.
Volcanoes and everything.
Witness Protection says, good evening, friends. Well, hello there.
Well, greetings.
Should we be scared though? Witness Protection. I mean, should we be scared of that name?
Probably not.
No, they're protecting us.
Men in Black show up here all the time. We're not scared. So
That's true. Okay. Just making sure,
These things happen around here. It's okay. We're a threat to no one.
Seneca Rocks was a prehistoric beach. You can see fossils sticking out of the sediment layers. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really cool area, though, isn't it?
Jason said, Joe also collected ocean fossil from the exposed road tops of Grant and Hardy County. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the crazy thing is, though, if just to put this into perspective, Jason, you're familiar with that part of the state up there in the northeastern portion of the state. The elevation is so much higher there than where we're at, and we're finding them here. So that means that the oceans were that much higher to be leaving the coral reef essentially along the ridge tops.
Yeah,
you also get some jutting up and down, but you got to remember the Appalachian Mountains have been eroded away so heavily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But at one point, the water was that high on the mountains. Yeah, it's good times. Crazy stuff.
That's a wonderful part of the state, man. The whole area up there is just beautiful.
100%. Well, you know what? I think that most of again, doesn't surprise me. Most of our friends here, they digested tonight's show very well.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm sure there will be others who, like I said, won't. But I really do hope that they do a little research for themselves and try to understand those connections because they're there. And just don't jump to the easy answer. The easy answer is not usually it. There's usually something way more complicated. I do believe that at the next meeting, we are going to debut one of our latest research projects.
Sweet.
Yes. And I think people will they'll like that. They'll
actually, you guys will
like
get first-hand view of what all you guys pour in here.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool.
And see some of the work that's being done.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And it'll be cool just to show it, the concept of this thing. Well, I mean, it'll be active, but we probably won't have the key component hooked up to it at that point. But
that's right, Pat. We're summoning demons.
Yeah, boy, that's what we're doing. And I think that it's important that as we draw near at the end of this show, that we do remember our place in this, and that place is of responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think it's also nice to remember that it's a very turbulent time. And it was also a very turbulent time the last time we went to the moon, which is very strange if you think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah. And there are no coincidences. I don't think. I really don't. And maybe, just maybe the good guys might come out on top this time. I don't know. I'm thinking that there's enough movement at this point that there's a chance. There's a chance that, as Joe says, we might get it right. As long as we trying to keep that positive thought. It's about intent. Intent matters. If you're going through life every single day and you're worried about stuff, you're freaking out about things that you can't control, just remember, if you put that much effort into the good stuff, you never know. You just never know. And when 64 million people were all just for the split second thinking about the same thing, I just wonder if something really good happened. Maybe. Hard to say. But we're not 64 million. We're only around 3,300. So
those are rookie numbers.
We can't.
We need you guys to boost that and do something. I don't.
What was that?
Am I a little surprise for everybody, though?
Am I the only one? What was that?
I said, am I the only one that played Pink Floyd during the Artemis 2 launch?
Oh, that's good. You should only do that when they make it to the actual moon and go around
the dark side of the moon.
Ronald, you still get them your surprise though at the party. You were preparing a dance. Was it when you can play the flute and do a dance for everyone up front?
Probably not, Dave. Probably not.
You should.
There we go, Pat. Pat says, I hope Ron is right, but if not, go Team Big Rock.
Well, no, if I'm not right, then that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a rock, but
yeah, it's going to be some kind of reset. There will definitely be either a forced cataclysm.
I think so. And yep, and again, this is not prophecy. This is following patterns of it's there. You just got to look for it. You really got to look for it. Not to mention aliens told me years ago. But anyway, let's play some music, shall we?
Yeah. Got to dance too. Oh.
Tracy, put your good where it'll do the most. Agreed.
That's old Craig.
Yes.
Old buddy Craig.
There he is. Just in time.
You've been practicing more, I can tell.
No, I wasn't practicing. That was just whatever happened. So
natural ability. All right then.
Well, he's studied the key on that one for sure.
Oh, I love this one.
That one the most.
This is the one.
Good, nice double tones out of that. It's pretty cool.
You can actually get triples out of that one. Yeah, that's the triple. So it can give you some really cool sounds. Really cool sounds. Thank you.
That will get use here soon.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring my didgeridoo down here for you guys tonight, but it won't.
Oh my God! You know what we need to do? What we need to do is we need to.
It's 6 feet long, and the base of the horn is that big.
We need to go over to Dave's and broadcast one of these from the studio.
Yeah, from there. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that. That's exactly what we need to do. Like for a special. I know it'd be fun to do. You know,
talking about doing that for years.
Well, that was back when we were in. We had the band, and we never got to do it then either. So it'd be kind of fun doing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
with the lights on.
that would be fun. I need
fun.
to get some new strings.
I don't
on my
know.
guitars.
Would anyone be interested in that? That's a serious question. Would anyone be interested in that if we did that? Like, we're literally talking about going over to Dave's in the studio, setting up the lights, the whole show. It would be entertaining. I can promise you that. There may be some strange sounds, but
yeah, like all nightmares induce.
It may. I don't know. You may go out of body for all I know. Yeah, that would work.
They like it.
They like it. Okay,
we'll have to
good.
make it happen.
Ron the Rockstar. Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This will be fun.
Once
Didn't
school
Craig
gets
here?
out this summer, we'll make it happen.
Wait, didn't Craig here?
Yeah, Craig's here.
Yep.
There are no
he's on here.
coincidences. There are
There's
zero
not.
coincidences. And yeah, well, Craig, there's something you're going to be doing that you didn't know you were going to do. So, congratulations.
All we need is a rude to sit there and
Right? Wouldn't that be funny if you chimed in? That would be like, oh boy.
He does watch the show sometimes, so hey, you never know.
Oh, does he? I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh? I did not know that. No.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Dave said it can't be any stranger than the sounds of my fart fascinated 4-year-old makes.
Heck, I'm 49 and I'm still fascinated. Just saying.
Man.
Hey, I wonder. Craig's here. I just wonder. I don't even know. I'm just going to do this to see if I can even do it. It'll be fun. See, how's it work?
You remember it?
I don't know. I'm going to see if I do. Let's see. I can hear it in my head anyway. See. Nope, don't remember it. Sorry, I can't do
That's
it.
tough.
It is. I'll have it next week though. I'll do it then.
Have to go listen to it and just kind of.
Yeah. Because that was a flute, but it was D50 actually, if I remember correctly. It was from the Roland D50. Yeah, Calliope. That's it.
Oh.
That is sad that I remember what patch that was. God, we played too long. Anyway, everyone, glad you stuck around for the rest of the show. It was a fun one and a heavy topic, but we came back down to earth, and we're gonna come back down to earth real soon. I believe it's on the 18th, right, Joe?
Yes, April 18th, we are going to be having our next gathering in public. It is free to attend. It's going to be in South Charleston, West Virginia at the Union Hall. Same place we've been hosting it previously. It's going to be a good time. We've got some special guests lined up to come and present their information. Also, anybody who's there is free to present their information as well. That's what this is all about. There's also going to be tons of food. We're going to be doing some demonstrations.
Here's a video. So take us to presentation for those who haven't seen it. I got you a little short video of how it went down.
There's some good food.
Yeah, there you go. Everything's got to be a production around here.
Absolutely.
I mean,
guys, thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here tonight. Come hang out with us. Again, it's a free event. Everything's already been covered. We've got door prizes. We've got amazing food that is being brought as well. Desserts, side dishes.
Do we know what our main prize is going to be this time?
The main prize?
Mm-hmm.
We do. Yeah, we've already got it.
Okay.
Yep. we have a set of 4K night vision goggles.
Nice.
That will be given out.
Nice. Very nice.
Then there's also a chesty that you like the chest pack.
Oh, like the one I got?
Yep.
Oh, here, I'll show you that. I love this thing. Joe got me one of these back when we got that one, by the way.
Yeah.
I love this thing.
Because he was looking for one anyway that was going to work for him, and I went ahead and I grabbed 2 of them.
It's great. This is one of my favorite ones. You'll see this when I'm out in the field.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this all the time. But what I really like about it is you got me this little thing here that holds my camera, and that's really cool. And I don't know, I can't say enough about that thing. This is awesome because I can put the meters in here, so I can tell when we're getting radiated.
And it's right here. It's easy access. You've got it's molly webbed, so that way you can
build.
They're really, really good build.
Yeah, it's built.
It's got universal molly webbing, so any kind of molly attachments that you have or might want to use, you have the option to use. Good stuff. And then there's a few other things that we've got that we'll keep on the hush hush that you guys will be getting as well.
But that's one of the things that I didn't do. See, last year when we were doing these meetings, we didn't get a whole lot of pictures. I mean, we just got a couple of videos of the second one, but the first meeting we didn't got hardly anything. And some of the prizes, man, we gave away a lot of prizes.
We did.
We gave everything from 4K cameras to
there was a 4K action camera,
Geiger counter.
People
brought stuff, which was amazing.
There was gifts that other people brought for the giveaway as well.
Yeah.
We had there were bags that were made.
Oh my gosh, those bags! I forgot about those.
Yep,
that's right. Nancy made those.
Yes,
and those are amazing. So
I still use one. It's one of my
absolutely.
Bags.
Ours went to the beach with us last year. I'll tell you this. If you want to, if you want to present anything, get a hold of us. If you want to, basically, whatever you want to bring for food, it's go for it. If you want to talk about it, you can actually go over to the event page and talk there too.
Over on the event page, we're taking a toll right now.
Yes.
It is chicken fettuccine Alfredo with baked ziti, or pulled pork barbecue and pulled chicken barbecue.
I'll tell you
Those
what,
are the 2 big main course runs.
The folks who choose the barbecue, I'll play the flute for you. No, we can't buy votes, but I'm going with barbecue.
So far, barbecue is winning.
Is it? Okay.
But go over there and make your toll, and get your name in the hat for that, and then we'll plan accordingly.
Yeah, and they are free. Let's make sure.
Yeah, this is free. This is completely free. You just show up and hang out.
Show up, hang out for the day. We usually start at what time do we start? I can't remember what it was. Like 3 or 4, something like that.
Setup starts at 3 for anybody who wants to come and help us set up. The event itself has a loose kickoff at 4.
Yeah.
But it's it's kind of between 4 and 4:30 that we really actually officially start.
Kick it off. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's all by you guys. So we are going to ask that if you come, please bring something for the potluck that helps, or just bring maybe a gift,
a case of drinks, case of water, anything. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
No, unless you want to be.
Right. So,
I can promise you, there was so much food, and it all went somewhere.
It did.
Like there was no food left. So this is not a situation where anything is going to go to waste. We're
also putting together a list of volunteers for the evening.
Thank you. I forgot about that.
We have figured out, based off last year's meetings, that we need additional support with some volunteers to hang out with us after the event's over to reset the room and get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
We had a ton of folks that stayed over after the last one, and it was great. We were able to get out of there 3 hours faster than previous times. So
Yes. So let's
we need that assistance again from you guys. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yep.
Again, this is all completely free. The only thing we're asking for is a little bit of your time to help volunteer if you can. And if you can't, then don't sweat it. You're still way more than welcome.
Yeah, we'll still play flute for you.
Yeah.
One of my best memories from last year is a friend of ours on here tonight had a nice little nebula cake. I believe our friend Anita here, who's
right.
Oh yeah.
Quite the cook. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to con her into bringing anything or con her into making more of the cakes for me, but it was. It was pretty good.
Witness protection says, "Sorry, boys, I live in Wisconsin." Well, Wisconsin is a bit of a haul.
It really is. It really is.
We've made the drive. We understand. And but I am going to say if, because we also have a workshop weekend that we do. When we get those dates ironed out and settled, that might be worth it. That we do have some folks coming in from New England.
Yeah.
For this get together.
Yeah, this will be a fun one.
Yep. So it's going to be a blast, guys. And we're going to go ahead and start winding out. Thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate each and every one of you all for hanging out with us. All the blessings you guys threw in the pot today, very much appreciated as well. Goes to keep the lights on here at Wild and Weird Radio and keep us all out in the field and batteries and all the equipment. We couldn't do any of this without you guys. We hope that you're enjoying Strange Realities, because that is another production that is fully funded by you guys, and you'll be able to see that in the credit runs. Anybody who's been added recently to that roster will see their names also show up in the credits as they roll in the future.
We had one tonight, so make sure they get added.
Yep, we did. Yep. We did have a new one tonight, and so I'll get them added in there as well. So, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you hanging out with us. This is a every week kind of an event. Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Wild and Weird Radio Live. Make sure you're here with us.
Share it. Share it. Share it.
Share it. It's the most fun place to be on Thursday nights. I can promise you that.
And comment on the video. That helps too. The algorithms are starting to see us. We're starting to get out there to more and more people. It's the first time we've ever really seen this kind of progress. And it's all because of you. So multiple thank yous.
Well, everybody.
Joseph, take us into the Easter weekend.
Oh, yeah, it's Easter weekend, guys. Go enjoy some family time. Reflect on whatever it is you want to reflect on, because this is a very, very special time of year. Whether you are of a religious nature or not. Spring is a time of new beginnings, fresh starts.
Yep.
Whether, like I said, you're spiritual or religious or not.
Well, if you go outside and sit in the sun on a rock somewhere and it's warm, I guarantee you, clear your mind, you're going to probably have a spiritual experience of some sort. You may not recognize it as such, but it's going to feel pretty good compared to what we have this winter
too.
And remember, it might be demons.
Oh, geez.
Stay wild and weird, everybody.
You have